What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Blue Lock discussion video. And today we're going to be talking about who in Blue Lock is the best pure striker out of all the participants. And now, whenever we're talking about pure striker, we're talking about someone who is the most lethal goal scorer strictly in terms of scoring goals. We're not going to be talking about the best all-rounder, best defensively dribbling. We want to know who can put the ball in the net. And for this reason, I have it down to two characters that I think are in discussion for this title, as well as one person I think I have to give an honorable mention to, but didn't quite make the cut. So first of all, we'll go with the honorable mention, and that's going to be Kunigami of Basel München. And I think overall what we've seen, he has a goal in both the games in the New Eagles League. He's a solid player after coming with the wild card. But since we haven't seen a lot from him overall so far, a lot of like individual feats, I don't think I can reliably put him into the discussion of the rest of them. But the mid shot with both legs, a strong scoring move. He's very physical. He is very muscular. You know, he was made in the wild card to be like Noel Noah, the best striker in the world, so he came out of it pretty solid. But he hasn't shown enough yet to be in discussion for the top spot. Now I'm going to say who we got competing against each other, and we'll go over some different categories for them. So first of all is going to be Shido of PXG, the second best player in Blue Lock pre-U20 match, and the man that nobody could control in Blue Lock, so we ended up playing with Toshi Sai. And the second player we're going to be talking about is Baro of Ubers, and the Joker of Team Blue Lock in the U20 match. So between those two, I think they're the ones that I came out with as the best overall goal scorers. So now we're going to compare them a little bit, and I'll let you guys know who we have at number one. So first of all, I think we have to talk about physicals. Both of them are fairly strong athletes overall. I'd say in probably different ways, though. Shido seems to be very vertically athletic and like springy almost. A lot of his goals are acrobatic, like bicycles and volleys. So I think in that sense, he's a very strong athlete, whereas Baro has a lot of straight line sprinting feats. It's called his like charge, as well as being strong overall. Not like the strongest, not like Tokimitsu or anything like that, but he has been shown to be a physically imposing presence. So I think in terms of physicals, we can leave that at fairly even. Next is going to be their shot. And starting with Shido, his shot is very flexible in terms of how he can score. We saw in the U20 match, he had his bicycle for pretty much outside the box and his other volley for his second one. So from what we've seen from him, he has a very flexible shot that can go in, and just no matter where he is in the box, that ball is going to be a half decent shot going in. Whereas Baro, he's been shown to very much rely on his right foot mid shot to score, as well as just getting in right close on net and just driving one in. So not a lot of flexibility to his shot as from what we've seen so far. So I think in terms of the shot, it's going to have to go to Shido for this one. So that's even, and then one for Shido. Next, we're going to talk about dribbling, because it's another way for a strong goal scorer to get on net. And Shido doesn't really have a lot of dribbling feats as far as I can remember, and from what I've checked. A lot of his goals, especially in the U20 match, came off of passes. I think both of them came off passes from Itoshi Sai, or on like loose ball scenarios. If we go back to the pre-U20 matches and the U20 match, I think one of them was a loose ball. So he hasn't really shown a lot of like dribbling feats. Maybe in the Kunigami Rio 2v2 game, he might have dribbled a little bit. But all in all, I don't think he's done too much of that. Baro, on the other hand, has shown dribbling feats all throughout the series. He's been very self-sufficient in that sense. In terms of his chop dribbles, his charges. I think first episode or first match, Team Z versus Team V or Team whatever it was, he straight rainbows Isagi for the very first goal that we see. So, gotta put a little bit of respect on the dribbling skill of him there. So he gets that one there. So that's one each. Next, we're going to talk about their flow, because Baro and Shido have arguably the two best flow states in Blue Lock, aside from maybe like Itoshi Rin, I'd say. So Shido's allowed him to score from outside the box. He was able to tell where it was with his back to the goal and just drive home an absolute lethal bicycle kick to go up. He was the first to reach flow in the U20 match. But I don't think it showed a big difference in his game. However, I will say I think Baro's flow allows him to go from probably below Shido overall to unlocking just maybe one of the strongest one-on-one players in Blue Lock with his chop dribble and the ability that he has to almost hide in the shadows of other players until the goal gets to him. So I think this might be an unpopular opinion, but I think Baro has the better flow out of the two. So I'm giving it to him, but this is pretty even overall. So up to this point, I think the two of them are pretty even from everything we've talked about. We're not talking about passing. We don't want these guys to pass. And neither defend. We don't care about if they can defend or not. So it's all going to come down to this last criteria. And that is going to be the ability to create chemical reactions with their teammates. And I'm pretty sure we can all figure out how this is going to go. Shido, aside from Itoshi Sai, who is one of the new Gen World 11, and the best midfielder and probably playmaker we have in the show so far, or in the manga, he was not able to create a chemical reaction with anyone in Blue Lock, as stated by Jinpachi Ito himself, and thus was picked to play on the U20 team instead. So he doesn't get a lot of points for that, even if he is a great player. He also isn't able to coexist with players very well, getting into fights with Itoshi Rin and all that. And Baro, on the other hand, while not connecting with players in the traditional sense or what you would look for, he has been shown to be able to coexist with other good players such as Isagi and Rin. So not in the sense that he would pass back and forth them, but in the fact that he'll let them make the initial play and then he'll seize on the weak spot and finish the play, as seen in the U20 match. So in terms of chemical reaction ability, we have to give it to Baro for his ability to work with more than one teammate, as we've seen so far. And then finally, we're going to go into a couple of their goal scoring feats throughout the series so far, just to kind of end it off. So Baro had one goal in the U20 match coming in, not playing the whole game. He came in later on, so we have to consider that. Both of them did not play at the full length of the game. Baro came in later than Shido did and had one. Shido came in at half and scored 2. And in terms of the New Eagles League, we don't have any goal records or anything like that for Shido yet, I don't think. I haven't seen anything in terms of how many he scored so far. But Baro has scored a hat-trick against Barca, which has to be noted. He is the number one player in terms of the salary rankings as of Chapter 208, pre-Ubers and Bayern Munich match. So, with all that said, and they're equal in physicals. I say Shido's the better shot, Baro's the better dribbling, and they're, I'd say, even in flow, maybe slight edge to Baro. and Borrow has the benefit of being able to work with more people. So, in conclusion, I'm going to have to say that Borrow Shohei, the king and Joker of Blue Lock, is the best pure striker in the program. With it's a tough decision to come to, and I would agree with you guys in the comments if you would think otherwise. Like, Shido's a great option, whoever you think. So leave a comment down below if you do not agree with me or agree with me and why you have your opinion. But with Borrow's feats in the U20 match and the Neo Ewas League so far, I just have a hard time picking anyone but him. And if you want to see me play him in FIFA 23, hop on stream at twitch.tv/darkdev or link in the description. I play as him or Kunigami. I have both those builds. I will make a Shido build too, or whoever you guys want. Leave that in the comments. Thank you all for watching. Subscribe for more Blue Lock content, and see you around.